Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am absolutely pumped to dive into today's brand new explainer because right now we are sitting right in the middle of a massive cultural and medical shift. We are talking about weight loss peptides. I mean, these compounds have completely taken the world by storm. They are literally rewriting everything we thought was possible for human metabolism and overall metabolic health.
But that brings up a really pressing question, right? Are these powerful compounds the ultimate biohacking toolkit? Like, are they actually going to permanently cure the obesity epidemic? Or, on the flip side, are we looking at a highly dangerous trend that is just packed with hidden risks? Well, by the end of this explainer, you are going to have the exact scientific framework you need to answer that for yourself.
Now, real quick before we go down this rabbit hole, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this explainer so we can keep bringing you these deep dives. Also, I really want you to pay close attention today because down in the description, I've linked our ultimate resource. It's called The Complete Guide to Peptides. I'm actually selling this incredibly comprehensive ebook for just $19.90. We're going to talk a bit more about that later, but seriously, if you want the absolute best roadmap to understanding these compounds, you need to go grab it. Finally, and this is absolutely critical, this explainer is strictly informational. It's based entirely on published scientific articles and reviews. You must never use peptides or alter your medication without direct, professional medical supervision. Okay? Let's get into it.
Section 1. The Incretin Revolution. Moving beyond simple appetite suppression.
Okay, so let's break down how we actually got here. We are currently living through what scientists are calling the incretin revolution. And this is a profound shift away from those old, totally ineffective weight loss drugs of the past that honestly just acted like weak stimulants. Instead, the first generation of mainstream GLP-1 drugs actually revolutionized how we regulate metabolism right at the hormonal level. To really get this, we have to look at the evolution of these therapies. So first up, we have Semaglutide. This is a single GLP-1 receptor agonist. Basically, it mimics a hormone that controls your appetite, it delays gastric emptying, which keeps you full, and it stimulates insulin release. And, it was a total game changer. But then, science pushed things even further with Tirzepatide. Now, Tirzepatide is a dual agonist. It targets GLP-1, sure, but it also activates a second signal called GIP. Think of it this way. Semaglutide is like pressing the gas pedal on weight loss, but Tirzepatide, it presses the gas while also taking off the emergency brake by targeting that second signal. By hitting both receptors, Tirzepatide vastly improves energy homeostasis, it crushes appetite even further, and it delivers significantly greater metabolic modulation.
But wait, it actually gets wilder. The next frontier pushes this science to a whole new level with Tirzepatide. This is an experimental triple agonist. Researchers basically looked at Tirzepatide and asked, well, what if we add a third signal? So Tirzepatide targets GLP-1, GIP, and now glucagon receptors. Traditionally, most obesity treatments really just force you to consume fewer calories, right? But by adding glucagon activation to the mix, Tirzepatide influences the totally opposite side of the equation. It doesn't just reduce your appetite, it actively tells your body to use more energy, to burn fat, and to increase calorie expenditure. And the real-world impact of hacking these different hormonal pathways is just staggering. Let's put these numbers into perspective based on the clinical literature. Semaglutide gives you roughly 15% average body weight loss. That's great. But then Tirzepatide, the dual agonist, bumps that up to about 21%. And Tirzepatide, the triple agonist, is showing this mind-blowing potential of up to 28% average weight loss. Guys, 28%. We are talking about surgical-level weight loss entirely from a peptide.
Section 2. The dark side. Side effects, black markets, and the rebound reality.
However, this incredible, almost unprecedented power comes with some very serious risks that you simply cannot ignore. We have to shine a light on the dark side of this GLP-1 revolution. The literature clearly points to some severe dangers, especially when these drugs are used without strict, ongoing medical supervision. First off, the gastrointestinal symptoms can be rough. We're talking severe nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which are incredibly common. But the risks get much, much steeper. If you are losing more than 1 kilogram per week, which happens a lot on these drugs, you run a significantly high risk of developing gallstones and even pancreatitis. And to make matters worse, because these drugs are so wildly popular right now, there is a massive, highly dangerous black market. It is flooded with fake compounds, and there are terrifying reports of illegal sellers mixing these peptides with other unapproved substances. That can alter absorption and literally put your life at risk.
And all of these risks build into an entirely different physiological nightmare, the rebound reality. Clinical data calls this the discontinuation cascade. Here is how it happens. When you take these drugs, you experience rapid weight loss. Awesome, right? But without proper nutrition and serious resistance training, a massive portion of that lost weight isn't just fat, it is actually lean muscle mass. This leads to a condition called sarcopenia. And because you now have less muscle, your body enters a state of adaptive thermogenesis. Essentially, your basal metabolism severely slows down. So what happens when people inevitably stop taking the drug? Well, because their metabolism is now totally crushed, they experience rapid, massive weight regain, and they often end up with a much higher fat-to-muscle ratio than when they even started.
Section 3. The Repair Toolkit. Biohacking with Regenerative Peptides.
So how do we combat these extreme physical tolls, the loss of muscle, the sagging tissue, the systemic stress? Well, a lot of people in the biohacking space are turning to a completely different class of compounds known as regenerative peptides. One of the absolute standouts here is GHKCU. This is actually a naturally occurring copper peptide found right inside the human body. Its main job is to regulate gene expression. It essentially resets your genes to a more youthful state to significantly boost the production of collagen, elastin, and glycosaminoglycans, which are the things that keep your skin plump and hydrated. For people who have experienced that massive volume loss associated with GLP-1 therapies, GHKCU is being heavily researched and utilized to specifically tighten, hydrate, and rejuvenate the loose, sagging skin that gets left behind.
Then we have the heavy hitters for post-trauma recovery, BPC 157 and TB 500. It's honestly awe-inspiring what these compounds can do. While you'll often see them researched together, they actually work very differently. BBC 157, or body protection compound, is derived from gastric proteins. Scientific studies show it is incredible for accelerating blood vessel formation, drastically reducing inflammation, and promoting rapid tissue repair. That is absolutely essential when your body is going through immense physical changes. TB500, on the other hand, acts on cellular healing, but with a really deep focus on musculoskeletal repair. Used together, researchers are looking at them as a highly powerful way to combat the muscle and tissue stress that is caused by extreme, rapid metabolic shifts.
Section 4. Master peptides safely today. Don't guess with your health.
So seeing all of this, it is pretty obvious that the science of peptides is absolutely amazing. But the glaring problem? This space is incredibly confusing, it is completely flooded with dangerous black market fakes, and it is highly perilous to your health if you try to navigate it blindly or just guess your way through it. The solution to safely navigating this incredible scientific revolution shouldn't cost you thousands of dollars in medical mistakes. That's why I have distilled all the scientific research, the protocols, and the safety data into our comprehensive Complete Guide to Peptides ebook, and I'm making it available to you right now for just $19.90.
I want you to think of this guide as your personal survival and mastery roadmap. For just $19.90, you get literally everything you need to understand exactly what these compounds are, how the underlying science works, and most importantly, it arms you with the exact knowledge you need to have a safe, educated, and highly effective conversation with your doctor. Seriously, do not guess with your health. Click the link in the description below right now and go get your copy of the Complete Guide to Peptides.
The revolution is literally already here, and the science is moving faster than ever before. So the only question left is, are you ready to safely master the future of metabolic health? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Please don't forget to like this explainer, subscribe to the channel, and seriously, go click that link and grab your guide for $19.90 in the description right now. You won't regret it. I'll see you in the next one.